Yo, yo, what's going on? Do another watch list for last day of the week here, Friday, September 13th. Let's start it off here with. Let's start with Lunar here first. Daily chart breakout I had on watch for that 610 break. It was building up fairly nicely here with a spike into it. Pulled all the way back round trip, shake out all the longs, build back and consolidation right near the highs. And then one last blowout move and round trip. So definitely bagged a lot of longs up into that region. So no real plan on something like that for me moving forward, given how hard it failed. APLD, similar daily setup here. Came back nicely. I'm gonna be more patient on it this go around. If you watch the watch list from yesterday, so I'm gonna wait for that trigger and actually look for this 650 660 line to break and build, not try and anticipate it. BKYI was that T+1 idea, and it traded out similar to was it BLMZ? Yeah, this one, where it starts squeezing out there in pre-market. You get that one last blowout in the morning into the looking left levels. So it breaks out through this breakout level in pre-market, and then off the open you get a shove into looking left, and it never looks back. And BKYI did that exact same thing, this time just barely breaking out of the daily chart line, but into that same kind of looking left level into this 310s, and it blows out right into it right here off the open, blows out, volume starts coming in, and then you get this lower high, prior support becomes resistance, hard crack, and this thing peters out the rest of the day with more hard crack, lower highs. Definitely would have squeezed some people out here, like someone that slams into this, squeeze them out, slams again. So it was a bit hard to hold on this move, but this little morning action is the more predictable side of things for me. QH, shove into that 140s and fade the rest of the day, prior support becoming resistance right from the watch list. At this point, now this daily chart is setting up for something I like to see, for a backside bounce. It's still in that dollar volume range that I like to play, so I'm going to be looking for a sizable gap down. So far, like the close was around this 120s, and it's gapping down for now. I can show you here, 4 o'clock, right around here, right around 120, and it's down in the 106. So zooming out, I'm going to be looking for a larger gap down. A plus would be into this 80-cent range, but I'm going to be looking for a gap down and reversal back up into this 140, 150 range. So a potential backside bounce for screen day play there. AILE, I'm not going to take this one off radar given its lack of overhead resistance looking left, and this could be a transitional day if it starts to build over this 160s. So I will be keeping this one on watch going forward for potential secondary leg. CNE, same kind of thing with this big run from the 20 cents up to the 150s. Faded off nicely today. I had missed this one. I wanted to shove a bit higher up into the 110s, not under it. So the push just wasn't enough for me to get involved, but it worked fairly nice. I'd be expecting lower, and then ideally a potential bounce trade down the line back into this 80 cents possibly, but we'll see how tomorrow's action is. I don't really want to play a bounce trade tomorrow. MNPR, I had a small little trade on it in pre-market and then never got back in there. Let me see here. Drawn these lines, channel Nate had given in pre-market, so I had leaned the shove into it, and the push stuff, I figured that was the blowout. You get these top wicks, so I'm looking at this as a lower high and looking for 460s to fail for a confirmation. And once it held here, I moved on and drew that line at this low. which acted as support all of pre-market. You get a shove into this 540s, and then it retested 480s, and I was looking for one last little shove that I could get nice risk reward versus highs, and that was it. So I ended up missing this one. Was just a bit too picky on the entry versus just getting a position, letting the idea work, but that's all right. TIL, this one's coming on radar now, a bit on the illiquid side, but going now from 15 up to 60 with parabolic and blow off volume. This is likely the top, so I'll be looking for pops up into 51 and look to join that for a red day back down to the 4 EMA. And then OBLG was that I don't know what you call it, newsletter kind of pump sent out text messages. So they did get some liquidity going in there. Some of these push and fail. Some of them keep going. So I'm not super interested in these tomorrow. But what happened on stuff like ASST, if you remember this one, when they did get some volume and you let it do its thing, pull back, and then this backside, all these bounces are a lot higher odds to me. So once the squeeze comes and goes, once the squeeze is squoze, then usually get a decent fade on these things. UPC, the China Pump du Jour, I had missed this one. It kind of just flushed out of nowhere right there in midday. And then a lot of times when they flush out, they're just positioning. So then when it comes back, it's, usually just goes into this barcode choppy action. But this one actually pulled back, and then now SSR is on, etc. And you don't get positions filled here. So it wouldn't have been a sizable trade for me anyways, even if I was looking to trade it. But yeah, no real look on it going forward. It could end up kind of like Clue. Let me see here. I'm thinking this thing goes sub 1. What day was it? 7-5. Let's see if I can do this. 07, 05, 07, 06. There we go. I think that was it. 07. Oh, it was 08. That's the problem. This one, 08. There we go. So you get that kind of flush and little bounce. And once it starts trickling in pre-market, you get some of the volume start coming back in. And this day I feel like has more edge now that you have people underwater and it's proof that it's selling. So I'd be looking for something similar to this on UPC where you get that flush. Everybody's positioned now. They've started selling their shares and you expect pops to get sold into. It's right around that same price range in the low ones, and then it just fizzles out. So I think that's possible here on something like UPC. So I'd be looking for this flush, and now you've got that bounce for it to kind of fizzle out in pre-market and look to get a quiet trend join lower back down to like 50 cents. So I'd be looking for something like that there. I think that's it. So probably the top few actionable for tomorrow would be UPC, TIL, and QH are probably my top 3 going into tomorrow where my focus is going to be. Hope you guys had a good week. And get in where you fit in, make some memories, and I'll see you guys in the room.